Hello and good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good day, wherever it is that you are in the world. Ryan here, and welcome back to the channel. And of course, welcome back to more Animal Crossing New Horizons. And today is, I guess, the day the day where I talk about all of my final thoughts for what is supposed to be the final update for Animal Crossing New Horizons. If you are someone who just recently picked up New Horizons, you may have seen, or maybe not have even heard, that the 2.0 update that was released last year is the last major free update that Nintendo plans on releasing for Animal Crossing New Horizons. And so it's been around for at least 7 months now, roughly, and we've had a lot of time to sit with it and see exactly what is offered in the update. And given how much time has passed, I think that, you know, we can all probably make kind of our own decision on how we feel about the 2.0 update, and that is what I'm going to be doing today. So really quick, everybody, once again, if you enjoy videos like these in the future and want to see more, please be sure to drop a like on the video. It always helps. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe if you want to get more videos from me in your feed in the future. But for now, everybody, let's talk about the Animal Crossing New Horizons 2.0 update. So first thing that I wanted to talk about, first and foremost, was the notion that Nintendo made that they wanted to keep Animal Crossing New Horizons updated for 2 to 3 years. Now, I'm not going to go into the logistics of what exactly that all meant. You know, a lot of people can interpret that a myriad of different ways. Did they mean that they wanted to have new events every 2 to 3 years? Did they mean that they wanted just to simply update the items every 2 to 3 years? Until Nintendo comes out and actually says what they meant by that, of course, the interpretation of what that means is always going to be up in the air. And I think that for a lot of us, we kind of presumed that what they meant was that they had planned on maybe introducing a ton of new events, new characters, new everything. If not every few months, then at least maybe every year for the 2 to 3 years that they had said that they foresee updating this. And I would say that a lot of people would argue that they didn't get the 2 to 3 year update that they thought that they or we were all going to get. And so for me, I mean, like, I have to be completely honest, right? It's 2022. The game came out in March 2020. Can I honestly say that I didn't get that I didn't get 2 years of enjoyment out of this fantastic game? I truly, honestly cannot. I have over 1,000 hours in this game, not only just on this Switch, but amongst, you know, another Switch that I have another island on. I think just like in general, I think I even have some time on a Nintendo Switch Lite as well too, but regardless, I've spent more time in this game over the last couple of years than I would have in any other game. Even when I was really into WoW and like Final Fantasy 14, I never really got this big into it. So Nintendo and Animal Crossing New Horizons, from the bottom of my heart, for the last 2 and maybe the 3 years, I thank you. I thank you. I know that's apologetic, but I like to do the bow thing. But while we're here in the farming area, I guess I'm not going to probably like talk about every individual thing thoroughly. What I mean is I'm not going to do like a really long explanation of each individual bullet point. Farming, I've already kind of made apparent in previous videos about how I feel about it. You know, as someone who has been playing Stardew Valley every year for the last 5-6 years, farming in Animal Crossing New Horizons was one thing that I just kind of felt was, you know, either coming soon or needed to be added. And obviously with the recent update, we finally got farming, and I guess I should have really taken stock of what exactly I meant by that. You know, in Stardew Valley, and I hate to compare, you know, very much, so please bear with me for a second. In Stardew Valley, when you farm crops, you not only get to sell them for a lot of money, but you also get to use them as a way to complete various objectives that Stardew Valley has in its game. Wonderful way to make sure that crops have more purpose than just making money. In this game, because crops are really used just to either increase your energy to do stuff later, like over the course of the day, or to even just gift your villagers a better present than just like, you know, a rock or a twig or something or anything like that. You can just give them your made food. Other than that, you know, I don't really need to cook all the time. I know that there are all the stamps and stuff for cooking. How the heck did this get here? But you know, I think honestly for that, I'm just going to do it whenever I can, and that'll be totally fine. So farming, wonderful addition, but I certainly don't use it as much as I thought I was going to. I like just having that little spot on my farm, so all good to go there. Now, in regards to the new items, I think I can kind of just touch on the new items thing really quick here. In regards to the new items and whether or not that contributed fully to the 2 to 3 years of anticipated content that Nintendo meant, sure, you know, there's a lot of items in this game, and all of which can usually allow for a lot of variation in regards to the themes that we all do for our islands. I know that one of the things that we all like to do is we like to flatten our islands and theme them up with something specific and find all the items to do so. Treasure islands are still really prominent, for example, as well too. And so yeah, I just think all the new items can definitely add that amount of content for people who are into redecorating whole islands or even just small sections. And as someone who really enjoys decorating more smaller sections, even though I really do enjoy the land, like more waterscaping of terraforming, I definitely think I prefer more of the smaller scale designs. And I like how they more or less add to the overall theme of the island just inherently by existing. What this means is that when Happy Home Paradise came out, and I guess what a wonderful segue that was, when Happy Home Paradise came out, for those that have been following my channel for a while, you saw that I basically had really no reason for me to continue on with chillin', my Southern Hemisphere no terraforming island that I had started a couple of years ago, because Happy Home Paradise allowed me to decorate villagers' homes, interior and exterior, and make them to my liking in a space that I basically already do on my own island. And so given the fact that we can also have, you know, basically every villager on Happy Home Paradise, as long as you have their amiibo cards and stuff like that, yeah, there was really no need for me to do a full island build again. And even this island, I haven't really done that as well too. So, you know, Happy Home Paradise definitely scratched that itch. I'm not entirely done with Happy Home Paradise just quite yet. I think I've only done maybe 20 plus houses. What's up, Sydney? You're probably gonna ask me to move out, right? Oh, you want a quick visit? It's, well, in game it's like 5 a.m., but it's not actually 5 a.m. No, that's okay. I'm talking about something right now. But anyway, yeah, so I'm not really entirely even done with Happy Home Paradise. Obviously, it's been out for a while that I know what happens. I'm not going to spoil it here just in case those want to avoid spoilers, but it's really cool, and I really got to get back on it to get all of the stuff that I'm missing from Happy Home Paradise. If you don't know, you can actually get new things like reactions, and you actually get some stuff from Happy Home Paradise you can use on your main island as well, which was my biggest motivation for wanting to do that. Yeah, so Happy Home Paradise is awesome. Still working through it. Probably my favorite thing, although, you know, this was really more of a talk about the 2.0 update. Happy Home Paradise is a paid thing, and so I don't even know if a lot of people will consider it part of the 2.0 update, as it was more of an opt-in kind of thing. When I asked my Twitch chat, they had made a mention that I should, you know, mention it in some capacity, but, you know, probably not that much since not everybody can partake in it. But either way, Happy Home Paradise, still really love, still got to do. Speaking of unlocking things like new reactions and stuff like that, of course, we have working out in the morning as well that we can do with our villagers, which I'm actually going to go ahead and just do right now while I talk about it. I thought when I saw this in the reaction video that I made a while ago that this was actually a really cool way to implement the Joy-Cons. You know, what I'm trying to say is that I like how every Animal Crossing that's been released for every new console has always had something about it that it like was kind of reminiscent of that particular console. Oops. I still have yet to do this actually physically. I probably should at some point just to get the full experience. I love the characters we have here as well too. But yeah, admittedly, I don't do this very often, and I think that if you are someone who does this often, maybe with your kids or just in the morning is a nice way to relax, I think this is actually a wonderful thing to do to get active. And I don't know how many it is that I have to do to unlock the reactions. I think someone mentioned to me that I have to do 50 workouts or something like that. CJ's kind of slacking. But I do love absolutely watching the characters do the little workout, and I hope that you all are enjoying it right now too while I'm talking about it. So let's see, can I talk about anything while we're in front of Resident Services Center? I guess the ordinances are one of the newest things that were updated or added to the game that have been in previous Animal Crossing games before. My ordinance, of course, that I chose was obviously the early morning ordinance. I'm very much a morning person, and so it made more sense for me to have all my shops open in the morning. And unfortunately, the ordinance didn't really do all that. Oh, jump. This is my favorite part because they look so adorable. The ordinance didn't really do anything for me because of the fact that, you know, the stores only open up an hour earlier. I'm up at 5, so that didn't really help me. But I do like the ordinances. I'm glad that they're back in the game, and I'm glad that we all have the ability to, you know, have the shops stay open later. I'm glad we all have the ability for our villagers to help clean up the island. And overall, just a wonderful addition. I know another thing as well, too, is they reduced the cost of moving the houses and stuff, or buildings in general. Wonderful addition, especially because they added so many new things. I guess maybe wanted to make sure that we weren't spending all of our money in one place. But yeah, so that's that one. Not really anything new with Able Sisters. I'll get to the airport in a moment here, I suppose. Harv's... Was it not Harv's? No, I'm sorry. Harv's is what I'm going to talk about in a moment. So... Kapp'n's Islands. I thought, so first of all, Kapp'n's Islands completely just took all of my Nook miles. I had like 50,000 at one point, and now I have, how much do I actually have? I have 2,550, but that's not all of Kapp'n's fault. I have been buying a lot of the resident services Nook miles items, which are really cool. The party light arches, for example, in my farm are not cheap. I think like 2,500 each, but regardless, my boy Kapp'n, what to say about Kapp'n? Kapp'n is still the coolest turtle around. I still love him. I think he's great. I did, unfortunately, have to stop going to the mysterious islands that Kapp'n offered at some point, though, because one, they were taking up so many Nook miles. I was basically broke at the end of it all. And two, at a certain point, they just become kind of repetitive. And I know that that only happens really, I think, once you finish collecting all the gyroids. But even as someone who I'm pretty sure has not collected all the gyroids, I have a pretty decent collection. But as someone who hasn't, I'm pretty sure I even have had to stop going to them just because I much prefer to buy items in the you know, resident services or for Nook Miles now. So I'll probably go back at some point for Kapp'n and see about all that stuff. But for now, I think I'm good on that. Before I head to Harv's Island, I know a lot of people have said in the past things like, I think they've expanded character dialogue and stuff like that, which is really cool. I haven't really seen too much expanded character dialogue, but in general, whenever I do, I know that it will be absolutely welcome, as one of the biggest things that I think this game for a lot of us can understand and kind of, you know, feel is, man, they all get pretty repetitive when the jocks all say the same things. You know, it's almost like, well, what's the point of having more than one jock if they're all just going to say the same thing? That was my problem with Lyman and Dom, for example. So other than that, not much else to talk about on the main island as far as I can tell, and at least for me personally. Obviously everybody plays the update differently and everybody has different ideas of what they wanted to do with it, and so that's kind of how I felt about what I could do on the main island. Obviously, like I said before, there are other things in Happy Home Paradise you can do as well, but I haven't gotten to that point yet, and not everybody has Happy Home Paradise, and so we digress for now. But we'll head to Harv's Island, which I think had one of the biggest kind of glow-ups in the update, in that obviously not only did it expand to a completely different section, but we got, let's do a head count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well, technically not 7 new NPCs, 4 of them are the same. So 8 NPCs, 4 NPCs are brand new to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Of course, Katrina, Cyrus, Reese, and Tortimer are not new to Animal Crossings, but they're new to this game. And so let's talk about Katrina, I suppose. I don't really get a lot of bad luck with Katrina, and I think that the items that you can get when you remove your bad luck are awesome. But this, unfortunately, was also something that was cool for just a little bit, at which point I stopped doing it. Not necessarily because it became too expensive, but just because I don't know. I think this would have been a lot better back in, like, for me, 2020, when I was playing this game for 8 hours a day and I could reap the benefits of getting a reward like your luck with bells will improve or your luck with this will improve. Now that I'm only playing this game sparingly, maybe 20 to 30 minutes a day, if that, maybe 20 to 30 minutes a day 3 days a week instead of the entire week, you know, this would have been a lot cooler. But like, okay, so my luck with health will improve. I think that has something to do with the food I'm going to eat. Not really going to do anything with that today. So while it's just a cool animation to have for me personally, don't really do this that much, but I actually kind of enjoy when we get bad luck because then I can do something about it. Sahara, having access to Sahara at all times is wonderful. Tortimer, I guess we needed to have a storage way here. Otherwise it would have just looked kind of, we've had to go back and forth all the time. Reese and Cyrus don't use all that much. I've used it the only time I really used it was to change like my ABD, for example, or my my storage shed. But beyond that, haven't really had a need for Reese or Cyrus yet. Again, I wasn't in the middle of designing an entire island, so they kind of just took a back seat. Leaf, same thing. Once Leaf, I got all the crops from Leaf that I absolutely needed, which, you know, I already have at this point. I didn't really have a need to talk to Leaf as well too, and I actually like having weeds on my island as a form of decoration. So even though he could have the service, Leaf is just kind of cool to talk to every now and again. Red, I don't think I have everything in the raffle box, but I do have a completed museum. So there, unfortunately, is no need for me to come to this as well either. And then, of course, Kix, I'm still looking for this sword thing that he has, that he sells. Dang it, he doesn't have it today. And I can't remember if he even sells it or if it's sold from someone else. But regardless, there's a sword that you can get that you can carry on your back. And I really, really want that. But this was the new NPC area that I made a video on when the update first came out, and I loved it. I don't visit it very often anymore, and same thing with you know, Harv's just photo shoot cabin. I don't really use that as much as in the beginning as well too. If you can summarize this entire video, it's just, man, if all of this stuff had come out 2 years ago for me, then this would have been perfect. But for those of you that maybe are starting their new playthrough or restarting or stuff like that, I think that the game is in a state where you can get a lot of value out of everything that's offered right now. I actually enjoy the fact in some capacity that this stuff was kind of released later on in life, as if it was released any earlier, I totally believe that I probably would have been done with this game a lot faster. In fact, I even you know, forwent time traveling for a long time because I wanted to see how long I could go just with a natural playthrough. I time travel now sparingly, but definitely with all of this stuff available to us, we would have finished it a lot faster. So all that being said, that was kind of a very quick review of all of the new features that were added to Animal Crossing New Horizons, but not in depth. This video is more for me to kind of express in fully how I felt about it. And at the end of the day, I think that I got, for me personally, everything I wanted out of the update. It didn't provide me anything more, or, you know, conversely, anything less than what I had expected. I'm definitely someone who didn't want to place a lot of emphasis on what the update might possibly do. I think that for a long time, over the course of this game's very short 2-year lifespan, and if you haven't been browsing online very often, you may not have seen this. This game just took a lot of heat from the expectation of what this game should have, could have, would have been. And while that's totally fine, I'm definitely not one to deny what this game did for me or even for us during the last couple of years. And so, you know, I definitely can't blame it for the expectation that was set upon it, but they certainly did their best, and if this is the vision that they had from the very beginning, then I'm totally on board with it. I still very much love this Animal Crossing game, and while I can't say fully that it is my favorite Animal Crossing game, it is, as of right now, the Animal Crossing game that I have, and because of that, I am going to cherish every moment, every memory, every second that I've spent, will spend, planned on spending in this game. And the 2.0 update, you know, for me, like I said, while it did add enough for the 2 to 3 years as promised, hopefully not promised, it certainly added enough for me to keep on going. So yeah, I like the 2.0 update. I loved everything that it added, even if I don't use any of it that much anymore, because most of it appears to be very helpful when you're trying to island design. And I'm definitely more of a Happy Home Paradise designer at this point, which I, you know, might even start releasing on the channel every now and again. Do some Happy Home Paradise and chill if anybody's interested. If you are, let me know. But otherwise, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video off by heading to one update that I don't think I've talked about yet, which was Brewster. Brewster, for the longest time, was highly I mean, more highly requested than when YouTubers say this video was highly requested. When Brewster was added, we all lost our collective minds, and I think what we got from Brewster was what we all should have expected. I sincerely hope that for the Roost, we didn't have any other expectations than this. I mean, it's a bird that serves coffee to its residents. I think in general, what a wonderful feature. And even though we don't have the ability to work here, like maybe I was hoping to, I still think that having it in the game in general was just totally fine. We don't have to copy everything from the previous games, even if the previous games were wonderful. If anything, that's what makes them what they are, and not being able to work here is what makes this what this is, even if it's a bad thing, or maybe not something that we all wanted. But regardless, I still enjoyed the inclusion of the Roost. I still enjoy coming in here every time I log into the game. It's a nice way to either start the playthrough or start the day. And yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm a sucker for coffee myself IRL, so this was just you know, a natural wanting for me. But I'm gonna head outside here really quick. In general, I think I don't really have much else to say about the 2.0 update, folks. I really like it, and I hope that it was really, really fun for everybody as well too, especially for all of our veteran Animal Crossing New Horizons players. I hope that it ticked all the boxes, and if it didn't tick all the boxes, I hope it ticked, you know, a majority of them. Yeah, this game is awesome. I love it. It's great. I've met so many wonderful people off of it, and I hope that in some capacity, everyone else feels some way about that too. But for now, everybody, thank you so much for listening to my little rant here about the 2.0 update. I hope that it was enjoyable, and I hope that, you know, if you've kind of maybe feeling out how you feel about the 2.0 update yourself, maybe you're not quite sure if, you know, this was the thing that you were looking for and stuff like that. Not that I'm saying you should take my, whoa, the moon was like getting brighter and darker. Not that I'm saying you should take my opinion as like absolute value of what you should now feel about the game, but hopefully it kind of put it into perspective, and maybe, you know, let you know something about the update you felt maybe you didn't know. But regardless, everybody, thank you so much for watching and listening. I really hope you enjoyed and appreciated it. Again, I hope that you all are enjoying Animal Crossing New Horizons even to today. And yeah, thank you so much. If you are new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe for more videos from me in the future. I like to do these talkie videos every now and again if that interests you. I'd love to have you on board. And if you enjoyed this video, want to see more in the future, please be sure to drop a like on it. Always helps. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful morning. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to wave to you really quick. And I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, folks. Bye.